up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Angela. Hey, hello. I make videos about law school, lawyer life, and all things in between. So today's video is going to be just a basic video on what law school is. I got a comment from one of you guys on one of my old videos, and basically you were like, your videos are great, but I know nothing about law, lawyer life, law school. Can you make a basic video on what is law school? So what is law school? Law school is a professional school that specializes in legal education. Traditional law school programs typically last about a period of 3 years. However, in 2023, you have options. There are also accelerated program options that last for a period of about 2 years. And also there are part-time programs that last about a period of 4 years. Law school is typically going to be a more intensive course load than your typical undergraduate college course load. So in law school, time management, organizational skills, and just a really good work ethic are going to be key. The application process in law school is going to be more competitive and rigorous than even undergrad. This is especially true for higher ranked schools. Now, when I say higher ranked, law schools, just like undergraduate schools, are ranked on a tier system of, best to worst law schools. So law schools with that reputation for a higher rank and more prestige are going to be harder to get into it, making it more competitive for future law students. In selecting law students to join their program, law schools focus on a ton of different aspects when considering law school applications. However, there are two main things that they really focus on, and that is GPA, which is your grade point average in your undergraduate degree program, and your LSAT score. LSAT stands for Law School Admissions Test. Those two factors are going to be the main considerations when a law school is determining whether or not they're going to admit a law school applicant. A caveat to that, though, is that law schools more increasingly are starting to accept other forms of admissions tests, such as the GRE. However, the LSAT still widely remains the required test in order to gain admission into most law schools. Speaking of the LSAT, I get a ton of questions from you guys, either my DM or my email, about LSAT prep. And one of the main questions you guys are asking is whether I do LSAT prep tutoring, because you guys want to go to law school, you want to get a good score. I'm going to keep it real with you. I can tell you how to ace a law school exam. I can tell you how to maneuver through law school, but LSAT prep is not my testimony. So I do not offer LSAT prep mentoring or tutoring services. However, here's what I can do. I can give you a good reference to a reputable LSAT prep test company, and that is Kaplan LSAT Prep. I said this many times on the channel, but if you can afford it, I highly suggest that you work with an LSAT prep tutoring company or tutor in order to prepare for the LSAT exam, because the LSAT exam is so important. Like I mentioned before, it's one of the most considered factors into whether you will be accepted into law school. So the better you do, the more opportunities you not only have for admission to the best law schools, but also for scholarship money. And as you all know, law school is expensive. So with that being said, if you are preparing or planning to prepare for the LSAT, Kaplan LSAT Prep is worth checking out. One thing I like about Kaplan is they offer you kind of flexible options. If you're more of an online girl or gal, they offer online live tutoring. So it's still a live course with an instructor, but it's more one-on-one tutoring. Then they also offer on-demand options. So if you can't really commit to a date and a time to either be in a class online or on live, you can also just sign up for on-demand courses where you can learn and go at your own pace. So if you want to cram all your studying in on just certain days of the week, well, it's on demand, so you can study on those days and times that work best for you. So I really like that because, everybody has different schedules, and so flexibility is key. And so the best way you're going to be able to do that is to fit it in your life. And Kaplan LSAT Prep understands that. And so that's why they offered so many options. Also with Kaplan, they have standard and then premium options. So with that, you should be able to find something that not only fits within your schedule, but also within your budget. So when looking for an LSAT prep company, you should be thinking about who's going to be doing the teaching and what the content of the course is going to be, because those factors are going to be important for preparation and making sure you're ready for that exam. So at Kaplan, you'll have guidance from a team of LSAT experts, and then with respect to the content, you'll have access to every single past LSAT question. that is gold, because obviously on the LSAT, the questions might not be exactly the same, but they're not going to reinvent the wheel here. They're going to be similar questions. So you having access to all of those practice questions will ensure that you're fully equipped to take that exam. So I love that. So if you want to learn more about Kaplan LSAT Prep's options, you can go online at captest.com/LSAT and see everything they have. And I'm also going to leave a link in the description box below that'll take you directly to it. One thing I want you guys to remember is the LSAT and preparing for the LSAT is an investment into your legal journey and future. So definitely consider that when you're preparing. Take it serious. Like I said, if you can take a course, do so. Definitely check out Kaplan LSAT Prep. Like I said, they offer course options for online, in person, and on demand. One thing I didn't tell you guys, they also offer a condensed 4 to 6 week LSAT boot camp. So for you guys who have maybe done your studying on your own or with another program, but you want to have a kind of a refresher or a top off to make sure you have everything, Kaplan LSAT Prep does offer a condensed 4 to 6 week LSAT boot camp. So definitely check that out if that scenario sounds like you. Another thing is Kaplan does offer free LSAT Prep online events every month. Now, if you're like me and you kind of want to test things out or get more information before you make an investment, definitely check out their website. They do offer free online events every month with some of their LSAT Prep instructors. That way you can kind of try before you buy. And also, like I said, they have free resources on there as well as just learn more about their options. So yeah, definitely check out Kaplan LSAT Prep. I'll leave the information in the description box below. And best of all, you guys, I am partnering with Kaplan LSAT Prep to do a giveaway to one of you guys, okay? It's gonna be over on the Instagram though. So make sure you guys are following me on Instagram with more details to come, okay? So follow me on Instagram so you can enter to win. I am super excited for whoever's gonna win that, y'all, because it's gonna be gold and it's so valuable. So make sure you are following me on Instagram so you can enter into that giveaway. I thought it would be easiest to do it on Instagram because we're more interactive over there. So make sure you're following me at _theaspiringboss. Also, make sure you're following Kaplan LSAT Prep on Instagram. I'll leave a link to their Instagram in the description box below. Lastly, I want to give a huge shout out to Kaplan LSAT Prep for sponsoring this video. Okay, so once a law student takes the LSAT, applies for law school, they get into law school, and then now we get into the nitty-gritty and the contents of what you can expect in law school, and that is really surrounding the classes and the grading. So with that, I want to talk about the contents of law school class as well as how the grading works. So most law schools are going to share a common approach for how the first year of law school works. First year law students are called 1Ls, and their classes are pre-picked by the law schools. A minimum of the first year, your law school is going to pick your courses for you. You're going to be assigned to a section where you will take all of your core classes with the same people, and those classes will consist of your foundational legal courses such as contract law, criminal law, civil procedure, and torts. Just know that after 1L year, students are usually given more flexibility to pick their own courses, particularly taking an approach to picking classes that they want to specialize in, such as if you want to be a family lawyer or divorce lawyer, you can take family law and marital property. Unlike undergrad, there is no major in law school. Instead, you just choose classes of your interests. Like I said, more of a specialization of whatever you're interested in. In law school, most of your course grade is going to be determined primarily by exams. There's not a ton of quizzes, there's not a ton of homework, or not graded homework anyway, in law school. Most of your grade will be based on 1 or 2 exams for the entire semester. As a 1L in your first year, you're most likely only going to have 1 exam. And so this means that 1 exam is your entire course grade. So that makes law school feel a little daunting. Now in class, law school professors use a case method when teaching their students. So they will teach you the rules of law and the basics and underlying principles of law through cases. So in law school, your textbooks are basically a compilation of notable legal cases within that specific area of law. So law professors assign those cases for reading and then lecture based on those cases and synthesizing the rules of law. So essentially they take the contents of those popular cases, they use them as an example, and then they pull the underlying principles from the rulings of those cases to teach you the actual law in that particular area. So very unlike undergrad, right? In undergrad, you kind of come to class, they kind of tell you point A, point B, point C, and you study that way. In law school, the professors go in a roundabout way, and the reason why they do that is because it teaches you to think critically. The information is just not handed to you or spoon-fed to you. You have to think critically and think about the cases and the holdings and pull the rules of law from under that in order to really understand and gain the information that you need to study for the final exam. So it teaches you how to analyze, how to think critically. Also in law school courses, you're going to be doing a lot of reading and writing. A lot of the exams are written exams or have a written exam component. You also will be writing case briefs and memos. And then reading, y'all, there's so much reading in law schools. Your professor will assign daily reading assignments, and the readings will be those cases that I talked about, but they're long, dense cases. And so it takes a long time and it's a lot of reading. So be prepared for that. In law school, you'll learn how to identify legal issues. You'll learn how to do legal research, and you'll also learn how to apply law to different scenarios. And a lot of those legal research and writing skills you'll be learned in your legal research and writing course. This is a required course for all law students. It typically in your first year where you'll learn those skills as well. Some of you may or may not have heard about cold calling in law school. Cold calling is like a slang or an alternative to what is called the Socratic method. The Socratic method is what professors use typically in your first year to conduct their teachings in their classes and lectures. So what that means is that at any moment, at a moment's notice, you can get called on, sometimes be asked to stand up and be asked to answer a question. So it's not like an undergrad where a teacher asks a question, you raise your hand or you speak up if you want to answer. The Socratic method, they just call on you and you have no idea. It's random. They just call on you. Like I said, some professors ask you to stand up. Some professors are nicer than others. They'll kind of let you know if you're up, or, you know, it just depends on the professor, but that is the Socratic method. Professors do this because they want to keep you on your toes. They want you to be prepared to be called on. So they want to make sure that you're doing your readings and preparing for class. Now, if you know that at a moment's notice, you could be called on and have to recite or answer a question in class in front of everybody, you're going to be more likely to prepare for class. And so they want to keep you on your toes. Also, as a lawyer, you're going to have to be prepared for anything. You're going to have to think quickly on your feet. It's also good practice for being thrown curveballs when you're a practicing attorney. Now, I know that seems really daunting and scary, but it's really not that bad. As long as you're ready for class or prepare for class and show some sort of attempt to answer the question, you'll be fine. They won't mess with you too bad. Now, the next component of law school I want to talk about is the extracurricular activities. In law school, there are going to be ample opportunities for you to get involved, for you to try out things, and for you to join organizations. Most law schools have a ton of different student organizations for particular groups of law students, whether that be your ethnicity, a specific area of law, a specific maybe passion you have. There's going to be a ton of different student organizations. So for example, if you're Hispanic, you can join the Hispanic Law Students Association. If you have an interest in criminal law, you can join the Criminal Law Society. If you want to give back, there's all sorts of charitable organizations. I mean, there's going to be an organization for every interest that you have, or for whatever, you know, particular group that you align with or identify with. There are also other more sort of scholarly extracurricular activities you can join. There are legal journals. Legal journals are cool because they're run and edited by the students. And so that's really cool. There's also mock trial and moot court, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You do mock trials, and so you basically practice being an attorney, but it's in competition style, like you compete with other law students, other law schools. So there's all sorts of organizations you can join. I will leave a link in the description box below of just different organizations that you might expect in law school, so you can get a little bit more of an idea. The last thing I wanted to touch on is legal experience and networking. So we got the coursework down, we got the extracurriculars down, but there is also a legal experience component to law school. And what this means is gaining hands-on legal experience through pro bono work, internships, externships, judicial clerkships, volunteer work, mock trial, moot court. There's so many ways you can gain hands-on legal experience, and it's imperative that you do so in law school. It usually starts around the summer after your 1L year, and then on from there, you are usually looking for some sort of internship or way to gain that actual practical legal experience. Your law school will be a great resource for you to find those things, other people that you meet in law school. Your law school will have a career resource center that can help you find jobs. You can also find jobs through word of mouth, also through your own research and efforts. So that is something to expect in law school, is to gain legal experience. Another component of that is building your professional network. You guys have heard this, I'm sure, before, but networking is key. It's important, and you want to start networking when you're in law school. One thing to remember is the classmates around you today will be your colleagues later on in life. One thing to note is your professors are also a part of your legal network, okay? They are preparing you for the legal field. They will be your resources. They will be sounding boards. They might be job references. You never know. So in law school, law students do and should work on nourishing the relationships with their colleagues and their professors and just the staff within the law school. So there it is, guys, just kind of a basic overview of what law school is, what you can expect, and some of the tenets of law school. I really hope the person who suggested this video and others find this video helpful. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments below. Like with this video, I am always open to video suggestions. If you guys are preparing or planning to prepare for the LSAT, don't forget to check out Kaplan LSAT Prep. Like I said, I will put the information to their website in the description box below so you can check out the options, as well as don't forget to follow me and them on Instagram, which I'll leave links to our Instagrams below, because we are going to be doing a giveaway of a free LSAT prep course, you guys. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you join our group on Facebook, The Aspiring Lawyers. I'll leave a link to that as well. Thank you again to Kaplan LSAT Prep for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.